Welcome to Marketing Adventures with Carmel, a place where we bring you some inspired and inspiring people to interview that give us some tips, tricks, and insights. If you're watching us on social media, make sure you give us a thumbs up or a heart. Or if you have any questions, make sure that you ask them in the comments below. If you're on YouTube, make sure you subscribe so you will get notifications of when we bring some of these amazing people. So today I have the amazing Harshmeen with me, and my name is Carmel. I'm your host for today, and we're going to be talking about social media, all about social media, how to show up on social media, how to get all that engagement, and we'll even touch on some sales without the exhaustion. So, Harshmeen, can you introduce yourself in terms of how are you here and what has brought you here? Like, how do you know this stuff? Tell us a little bit of your journey.
So my journey started when I moved to New Zealand, and started graduate diploma in business studies from Waikato Institute of Technology. And honestly, I didn't know anything about business at that time, because I was a graduate from India, a science graduate who has done Bachelor of Science with majors in chemistry, zoology, and botany, which has nothing to do with business.
Yeah.
But you end up doing this graduate diploma just because you wanted to be in New Zealand and do something about your life, and then end up getting into business now. And that has been my passion. When I started doing the course and stuff like that, did understand, oh my god, my passion is business. My passion is not being a doctor or being a science student or a genetic engineer. It's all about business, because I loved you reading books about all the business owners and all the people who does it. And that's how I end up into business. And then I started one thing, and then which led to another, which led to another, and I don't know.
Isn't the illusion of, oh my God, I've always had a passion for this. And I'm going, I didn't have a passion for what I'm doing right now because I didn't know that it even existed way back there. So you kind of just, I like to say it is, I explore forward and keep an open mind so that opportunity can kind of sometimes has slapped me in the face rather than just, I haven't always seen it, but be open to the opportunities and flexible enough. Yeah. So tell
Yeah.
us about, I know you have a few businesses and social media is just one part of it, but just briefly tell us what other kind of businesses that you started with.
So I do have a commercial cleaning business, which is all over New Zealand. I have a social media business which is called Social Hub by Harshmeen. I'm also a mortgage broker, so I work with Quantum Finance for that. Then I do have a YouTube channel plus podcast. It's called Entrepreneur Talks with by Harshmeen. And if I'm not forgetting anything, and I
Yeah,
do,
just a few.
and I'm a business coach too. So I do
Yeah,
some business coaching on the side, just because I know a lot of people who are struggling with business. So I
yeah.
help them understanding the business terms and to be a good networker.
Yeah, awesome. And
Yeah.
that's really important. And look, the reason I wanted you to share all of your businesses is to show other people that, like, it can be quite diverse. Just because you've come from one background doesn't mean you're going to be in another background. I never thought I'd be helping people with marketing or marketing videos way back years ago when I worked in hospitality. But who knew? And the opportunity and that exploring further, and who knows where we'll be in 5 years either.
That's
So,
true. That's so true. And I'm an influencer as well. I manage few influencers, and I'm also an influencer.
right. Okay. Awesome. So tell us what defines an influencer.
An influencer is a person who can actually influence the decisions of people in selling a product. And if you don't have the confidence to come on camera, then we have influencers that we can get help of, and they can provide you different kinds of, um, exposure to their audience, so which helps to promote brand a little bit better way. Like, they know
Yeah.
how what to do, so why to spend your time? If you can't do it, then hire somebody to do it.
Yeah, well, that's exactly it. Influencers have to have a decent audience themselves already, so they've built it to a certain level in order to showcase your product. So let's get on to the social media side of it. Look, social media is crazy. That's probably the shortest, and that's a business term, crazy, because we not only have Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, blah, 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 we could go on. We've had all those for a while, and then video was coming up even more and more. So, you had to get in front. A lot of people were doing lives, different videos. Now we have the fastest growing platform, they say right now, is TikTok. So we have TikToks, we have Reels on Facebook now, as well as Instagram. And look, a lot of people in business are going, oh my God, it's just too much. So tell us, I know you were going to share about 3 or 5 tips, really real tips on how to be consistent with your social media without it being exhausting.
Number one, don't be a perfectionist.
Yeah.
If you are going for perfection, then you're gonna go mad, because
Yeah.
there's nothing like this like like is exist is perfection. I've seen one video, one person was just trying to, she did painted a floor, and she was just trying to go and clean up on something on the wall, and it was just 10-second video which got viral, and they had 50 million views on that.
Wow.
And she was not wearing anything special, she was just in her pajamas and t-shirt.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So stop being perfectionist. Second, consistency is important. Just put anything, like doesn't matter, it has to be like it's something related to my business, something, but just put something, because this will help people to start understanding, okay, who you are exactly.
Yeah.
Because if you keep on posting something similar to other person, like who are doing as an influencer, people are doing it as full time, we don't have to compete with them, like the coloring and the
Mm,
dresses or and all of those things, because people will like you as you, not who you are following
yeah.
or who you are copying. Number 3, make sure the lighting is good. Like now, if you can see, my lighting is good. That is very,
Yeah.
very important, because
Is my
if it
lighting good?
is, yeah, it is
I'm
perfect.
joking. Yeah, it is
Number
important.
yeah, number 4, pick a niche, because if you pick a niche, like for example, my niche is talking about business or motivating people, so I have picked that niche and I'm just focusing on that, and also share with people what I do, because that's what they need to know, so that if they want something, they will come to you. And
Yeah.
lastly, always follow your heart,
We're
because
going to dig down into these in a moment, but yes.
yeah, because you know it better than anybody, your business, yourself, because if you want to sell anything, you need to understand your business, and nobody knows better than you, because you created it, obviously.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I love that. And they're really clear, concise steps. So let's
Yeah,
dig into them a little bit more because, on the face of it, you kind of go, oh, yeah, yeah, I know that. Oh, yeah, yeah, I know that. But it's knowing it and actually knowing it, if that makes sense. So, number one, let's look at that now, not being a perfectionist. And I get it. I used to actually use the term done is better than perfect, and yeah, I kind of still believe that, but I've brought it back a little bit and gone, don't just put anything though. So before everything, I'm guessing you've decided on some kind of branding, color, or your message. So kind of step number 4, the niching has to almost be decided before. So when you're putting stuff out, then it's all got the same flavor. As long as
yeah,
it's got that, would you agree? Perfectionist wise, as long as you've got the same flavor, then you're pretty okay.
yeah, pretty okay. If you
Yeah,
can't dress up to do a video, it's okay, just do it the way you are, because people like you.
yeah. Is it about being more real?
Yes.
Yeah.
And even a recent update by on Instagram, they said they are pushing the videos which are originals more further than the ones you are using voices and stuff. So they prefer
Okay.
being original. Yeah.
Okay. All right,
Yeah.
yeah, because I know Instagram definitely are preferring video over any other content. But then, just as you say that, when you use trending music, has that changed then?
Yes, it doesn't really matter now. So most important thing is your content should be, can be, it should be original, because it will, they will push it more. Because sometimes I post some videos like talking about something or the other to motivate people, and I've seen the views on that has increased exponentially because that was original. But in case I use some trending music, or if I'm using some other voices, they are not getting that much attraction. The more it is the original one.
Yeah. So when you're saying other voices, as in people are miming what somebody else is saying. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So short videos of you actually talking,
Yeah.
with some quiet background music in it, so that it's not silent in it, are
Yeah.
better.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
even I have seen that these days, they, people who usually post photos these days, they are making those photos into reels, so that's also taking, like, actually getting more traction than you post a photo on Instagram.
Yeah, yeah, putting the stills and making them into an actual moving story. I like the term moving story, which I use a
Yeah.
lot, because it's not just like a movie, which is a moving story. It actually moves you in an emotional way, and
Yeah.
images, and getting them to move to the next set and the next set. It's just can bring somebody on a huge emotional journey.
It
Cool.
is.
So that's it. So don't be perfect. And look, God, I'm kind of I'm happy when I was young that all of this video, social media wasn't around, because I'm going, oh my God, would some of the videos be quite embarrassing? But in my experience, people actually forget about you pretty quick, even if you've stuffed up or something like that, because they're too concerned about themselves.
Yeah.
We have this illusion, oh my God, people are going to talk about me, or, it has to be. And it's like, well, actually, they're not. They're more concerned about themselves than you.
And they are following your story just because they don't like living their own life, so that's why they like watching
Yeah.
your story.
Yeah. And they also, I love what you said, put some, more original stuff on, because nobody can do you like you can. Nobody. They're like, okay, we might all have a doppelganger somewhere that's, like our twin somewhere. But in general terms, every single human being is different.
Yeah.
So nobody can do me, like I've an Irish accent, okay, but I look a certain way, I behave a certain. Nobody can do me like I can, and the
No.
same with yourself. Yeah, it's
Hmm.
it's bizarre. So number two, give us number two, was you were saying about being consistent, but you did say something that I'm going to dig a little bit deeper on it. You said just post something. Now, what do you mean by that? Because I'm not sure 100% if I completely agree with that yet, till I actually dig a little bit deeper. Because sometimes I'm going, don't just post something for the sake of it. I'm always saying, what's the purpose of this video? Is it for
Hmm.
them to know me? Is it for them to get to like me more? Know, like, and trust? Or is it for me to sell something? Is it for them to take an action? Do you use that as well, or you just post for the sake of posting?
I'll just post anything, because thing is, people don't care what you're posting exactly. If they like it, they like it. If they don't like it, they're still gonna watch it anyway. So the purpose of posting videos is like giving them awareness about you, and you're still there.
So it's more about being consistent than it is always about the quality,
Yeah.
because of course we all know the algorithms, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you say posting consistently and just post something, are we talking in a post? Are we talking about a video? Are we talking about a reel, or any of the above?
Any of the above, but just
Yeah.
make sure you are consistent, because the more you're consistent, the better it get.
Yeah. What do you classify as consistent? Like, to some people, consistent might be once a week. I'm sure that's not the case. But
See,
what is
I would
consistent?
I, I would say it's up to them. I post 5 days, like three posts every day, like one post
Wow.
and three reels every day.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
And anybody can, it's up to them what their consistency means. But make sure you put one at least every day, like for 5 days.
Yeah.
I don't do
Yeah.
weekends.
And when you say that you do 3 reels, so are they pre-made reels that you have ready? Like, do you take a day or 2 days and just go content, 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 and then have them ready, or are you making reels every day?
See, I have done this as well, that I can do it content in one day, and I do it every day too. So I'm better at doing it on the spot, because it doesn't take me a lot of time.
Yeah,
It's just I'm original, so it doesn't really take me time to talk about anything. It's just that what I want to post at that time. It feels as if like that, so I post
right.
it like that. So it depends on each and every person. I am more of a person who just, the idea comes in and I post it. That's it.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
No
So
matter
it's
what
like,
time of day. I'm a bit like that too. I'm going, oh my God. And then because I have a big garden and I have birds and turkeys and everything. So sometimes I've gone, oh my God, let me show you what's happening with the turkeys. And but I can't do that and then post it later. It's very spontaneous in that moment.
yes.
And people love it. They go, oh, show us more of your garden. And I'm going, really? Okay. Okay. If
Yeah.
that's what you want to
They
see.
they
Yeah.
like it, and everyone has their interest. You will never know who wants to ask you what. And there are some people asking me about business, and some people are asking me about, oh, your dresses or your clothes, where did you get this from, where do you buy this from, so all of those things. So every person is different. And then there are some people who are asking me, are you married, do you have kids? And I'm like, no, sorry, I don't share my personal life on social media.
Yes, there's a good question. So being consistent, and we've got into the just post anything, but where are the boundaries? Because you've just
So
mentioned a boundary for you.
see, again, it's up to you how much you
Yeah.
want to show. So for example, I sometimes go to dinner and post about it, but I always do it afterwards, because in terms of my privacy, I really look into it and I make sure, yeah, I want to share about the dinner, I want to share where I've been, but I will share it once I have been there, because that's what I like. Otherwise, if I am there and somebody comes over there, I wouldn't like
Yes.
it. So
Yes.
I try doing that. But then there are some people who just love doing online live thing and
Hmm.
sharing it straight away, so they have the option. So it's up to each and every person. You want to
Yeah.
share the personal life, share it in a way where it's not too much, because I have seen these days, people are also sharing the school's details of their kids, and that's not right, because you never
Mm,
know who's going to harm them. Like, you have to be
yes.
very
Yeah.
careful what you share about
Yeah.
your kids, your family, all of those things.
And it never goes away. I remember when Snapchat came out first, and somebody says, "Oh, it disappears in 30 seconds." I'm going, "Trust me, anything that goes out there never disappears." So,
Hmm.
be mindful exactly that of your boundaries. And I guess what you're saying is find that plan that works for you, that consistency. If it is
Yeah, if
quite
you
often, yeah, go
if you
ahead.
like sharing about your partner, if you like sharing about your kids, go ahead, but make sure don't do too much. Like, you just be like, oh guys, we are going to this place to eat dinner now, so then you will see those five people outside your dinner. You don't want to spoil that, obviously.
Yes, 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 do it afterwards. But it's very much, as you say, it's a personal choice, but consistency is important, and find a consistency that works for you. Because look, some people I know and they go out every morning and they go do a walk and talk. I've done some myself. But
Hmm.
they do it every day. Like they do it, and you see story after story after story as them talking. That's fine if that's your thing, but you don't have to compare yourself to them and say, oh my God, I'm not doing that, so therefore I won't get business.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
that's
mostly
the
we
thing.
kind of attract similar to ourselves, really, in some way, shape,
Yeah.
or form.
Yeah, but do it in your way, because sometimes I don't talk on the stories, so doesn't matter. Whatever
Yeah,
works for you, do it. Because those
yeah,
people who are doing it since morning, they are like influencers. They just do it because that's their full-time job.
yes, that's
But if
another
you, as a
thing.
but as a business owner, you start doing that, you'll be gutted, because you have to put those hours in your business rather than talking over on the story all the time.
Yeah,
So you just
and
have to prioritize that.
that that leads into a good question. How much as a business owner, How much do you dedicate to social media per day? How much
I
time?
am. I would say I give them 2 to 3 hours every day.
So you would do 2 to 3 hours every day if you were managing your own. Yeah, yeah, that's kind of right because it is all consuming at times. So let's get
Yeah,
on to yeah,
only when
yeah.
you're trying to understand it. Once you know it, you'll be like pro, done.
Pro done.
Yeah, I only do one thing. I do a video on Instagram, record it, download it, post it in all other mediums. I don't want to do it like,
It's
uh
about repurposing content. So quite often I might, depending on the kind of live I'll do, I might do a live on a certain topic and then I'll transcribe it and then I'll make some quotes out of it. Then I might splice and dice it and do some sharing and I might make shorter. I've gone into reels. I have not got onto TikTok yet. I just haven't, but anyway. But anyway, I'm sure that's coming. But it gives you a lot. You could even strip the audio out of it and make it into a podcast and make it into a
yeah,
blog. You can get somebody to tidy it up a bit and make it into a blog for you too. So
easy.
there's ways of multiplying content without having to physically sit and do content,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. So number 3 was good lighting. So one of the things I help people with videos and things like that, and you're absolutely right, good lighting is right, but it doesn't have to cost a fortune either. So what are
No,
your
you don't
tips
have to
around good lighting?
have your phone and the lighting should be behind you. That's it.
Yeah, yeah.
Easy. You just have the if you have even if you use your phone, this oh,
Oh,
flashlight.
yes,
That's it. Easy.
yeah. So there's ways of doing, and sometimes you can soften them. So, for example, I do have the box lights in front of me. They're the ones I have because I've got my office set up in that way, and the plant or whatever behind me. But they weren't expensive even on Amazon. Now, I used to literally, I have the video camera and the microphone and the whole shebang because I used to go off-site to video. But now I can make video just on the software sitting right here. But you're so correct in the lighting being important and the headspace as well. And I know you will know this from reels. So we've always been told in video to make sure there's not too much headspace. Think of a newsreader. But if you're going to use your content in reels and different things like that, consider leaving a bit up here because you're going to need to put text on it when
Yeah,
it's
I
gone into a
always
reel and things like that.
so my head is always here and it's like this. Like this
Yeah,
much space
yeah.
I have.
But the
So that I
old
can
way of doing video was much more that, the top would have been here, like a newsreader.
Yeah.
So, and that keeping that in mind if you're going to repurpose content that you do is really important as well.
Yeah, it is very
Yeah,
important.
yeah.
And I've
So,
got iPhone 13 Pro Max, so I don't have to buy a camera.
well, I have a Samsung. I'm an Android. I don't even have that. And I have
I'm
to
an iPhone.
say, yeah, some of the photos even I've taken, a lot of I've had professional photos done, but a lot of photos that I put up on my Facebook, and they have kind of like a grey background and I'm quite vibrant in them. They were taken on my phone with just one of those filter that softens the background. And I'm
Yeah.
going, oh my God, I would pay people to do these. So,
Yeah, that's the thing.
they are so good. And even the video on the phones and everything is so good now. I did a couple of little reels about how to add music to your video. And all I did was actually take my phone and video my computer screen and make it into a reel. Did a little bit of editing on an app that I had on my phone and just uploaded it. I'm not really into dancing on a reel, but that's okay.
Me too.
We don't all have
If
to.
if I dance, people will be like laughing like anything. I might do a reel on that. Why don't I dance?
Actually, we should do one together and see if it goes viral. The two of us dance.
Yeah, let's do it.
That would be funny. So, what are your tips around niching? So, look, people understand the concept of niche. And I remember years ago, I was like, oh, yeah, I get it, but I want to help everybody. And it's one of my pet peeves. It's like, no, let's get down here. If you want to go to a doctor for something, you want to go to the specialist, not just the generalist. So when you niche, and I suppose that nearly could have been number one in terms of you really need to know that for the other things to follow. Would you agree with that?
Yes, you need to understand your niche for sure. And remember this, not everybody is gonna like you. You're not coffee.
I've never drank coffee in my life. Would you believe that?
Oh my
Yeah, there you go.
God.
Yeah, there you go.
Amazing.
Yeah,
See,
yeah.
that's the
Never.
thing.
Can't
That's the
stand
thing.
it.
So now you get my point. Like you're
Yeah.
if you want to impress everybody, you're not gonna get anywhere. Just focus on your niche and you will see people coming to you, asking you for different stuff. So
So
easy.
how do you, what advice would you give someone that's going, but I don't know what my niche is? I know I have some areas that I pop into people, but what advice do you give someone who says to you, I'm not sure what my niche is?
Uh Please contact me, harshmeenkaur.com. I'll help you.
No, really. So, like, for example, when people say to me, I don't know what niche I am, I kind of investigate a little bit. What are they
So
good at? What do they
I would
love? That sort of thing.
I I would say don't worry about that then. Just start posting something which you feel like can be your niche or which you like posting about. And once you start getting the, update on people's reactions and stuff like that, then you will understand, okay, that's my niche, man. I was
Yeah,
doing wrong thing. Because until unless, it's like marketing. If you are not gonna go do research, how would you know more?
yeah,
Because and I'm good at letting people know what their niche is. That's why I said to contact me, but I can't meet everybody. So for them,
yeah,
it would be better option is do market research, and that is
yes,
start posting anything you like, and then with
yeah,
few days you will know, okay, exactly this is what I should be focusing on.
yeah. And, I think it's even more, you're right with the market research, absolutely. But I think it's even more than that. I always go back to who's your avatar ideal client. And people always say, I don't know. It's like, well, who does what you have help the most? And
Yep.
then start from there. And then really, like I started, helping people discover who their ideal client was. And
Yeah.
now I'm more into the video marketing because as I chunked down, it was like, okay, marketing, but marketing is quite a big umbrella. Well, what's the best form of communication in marketing at the moment? It's video. So let me
It's
niche
videos.
even a little bit about that. And I've even gone further into that 30 to 90-second promotional video that doesn't even have to have you in it. You don't even have to have all the expensive equipment or anything like that, because some people are camera shy. I mean, I know you're not, and I'm not for sure, but some people are a little bit camera shy, at least at first. They don't have to, you don't have to be doing lives, you don't have to be doing to actually promote your business. But that's how I found my niche, was by exactly as you said. I went, I think it's this, let me try. Oh, nobody wants to know what I know about that. Well, let me tweak it a bit. But also, I don't know if you use it, but answerthepublic.com is a great place to start, to type in a couple of words that you think your ideal client would be and see what questions people are already asking.
Yeah.
And when you become the person who answers those questions, you become very valuable to the people who are seeking answers.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But it's a
i'm
great
i'm
point.
I'm more of a person who does the job and then find out. So that's why I gave you a
Yeah.
reply like that.
Yeah, no,
I
and
don't.
and everyone's different, but I think from because you are so used to it, it's almost an unconscious competence now with you. You kind of know what to look for that says yes, you're on the right track. But for
Hmm.
somebody who's starting new and they're going, I don't even know what track to get onto, it's like,
Yep.
well, find a track and go, oh yeah, that kind of resonates. Try it out. It's like riding a bicycle. Try it out. Do you like that kind of bike? Do you like this kind of bike? It's not perfect, and that's what we mentioned at the beginning of it. Look where we are now. We didn't start out wanting, you didn't start out wanting to be a social media queen, if you like. And I certainly didn't start out thinking I would ever help anyone in marketing way back then. But that's how it grows and evolves. And I think you have to trust the process and be open to that too.
Yes.
So tell me
Totally.
then about number 5. When you say follow your heart, now this one's an interesting one. for me, because I believe that, yes, follow your heart. But the other side says sometimes it's like, well, if you only follow your heart, people can tend to, they follow their heart, but they won't make the money. So how do you bring them both together? Because, following your heart alone is not going to pay the bills or feed your hungry belly.
If you value yourself, that will help you to follow your heart and get the value as well that you're putting into it.
Yeah, yeah.
Very
So
important.
I guess it's about being able to check in with yourself and go, am I on the right path? To me, it comes down to trust, trusting
Mm.
yourself that no matter what happens, you've got this.
Yeah.
And that's where people maybe need to do the work. That's what I find really valuable for my clients, I know as well. They come to me for business coaching as well, sometimes one-on-one, but it's hysterical because 9 times out of 10, it will be personal coaching because the business is the business. The process is there for a business. The blueprint is there. A million people have made businesses. So the
Yeah.
blueprint is there. It's not hard to find. It's the stuff that gets in the way of yourself and your head and your programming and the family you've lived with, and not that it's anybody's fault, but the culture you've come from, everything has its play. And 9 times out of 10, and I'm curious if you um experience this too with one-on-one clients, you have to do the work in here before
A
anything
lot.
else.
A
Yes.
lot. Because you just have to remind them their strengths, which they already have, but they forget about it.
Yeah, because it comes back to what I mentioned earlier, that unconscious competence. We know ourselves so much and we kind of go, oh, that's easy. And
Mm.
that's one thing I actually say to people. I said, the thing that you hear yourself say, oh, that's so easy, doesn't everyone do it, is probably your innate skill because you're so used to it, you don't even know you do it anymore.
No.
And that's what I think is great about coaching and mentoring, that you have that person you check in with all the time, that can pull you out of that funk or can act as a mirror and say, hey, I remember a mentor saying to me a long time ago when I was kind of doing that, I don't know if I can do this. Oh my God, as we do. And he went, have you ever missed a deadline? And I went, no. In my corporate career or whatever, I said, no. Have you always shown up when you said you were going to show up? Yes. So what are you worried about? You're going to show up. You might put yourself under pressure before it. You might even, do an all-nighter before it. But pay attention to the evidence and allow it in. And I think that's where a lot of people don't, because they don't see their own strengths. Would you agree?
Yes, totally agree with that.
Yeah.
Because sometimes people forget what they are, where they are from, and what they have done to be here today.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
just make and realizing them the strengths and the weaknesses they have. They didn't get it when they started. They have grown up, like they have grown from those weaknesses, and now they
Yeah.
are a different person. They are not the same.
Yeah, yeah. And sometimes you have to change your environment a little bit for that too, guys. Just
Oh,
make
heaps,
sure
heaps.
make sure
Very,
you're getting
very.
into supportive environments.
That's definitely, if you don't find support in anywhere, just remember, believe in yourself.
Mm,
I always say that if you believe in yourself, you will get it.
yeah, you will. And sometimes I get it. That can be challenging for people to believe in themselves, depending on the upbringing they've had, the environment they've had, the life they've had. But the truth is, everything's kind of made up. So if we can make it up in our heads that we do believe in ourselves and behave it,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the actual psychology of it, it's behaving it till it becomes just a habit.
A
People,
reality.
yeah, people quite often try and break bad habits. And I go, no, 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 don't bother breaking a bad habit because it's going to take you ages. Just create a new one that when you use it enough, the old one just becomes obsolete. So you don't have
Yes,
to try and break it. Yeah.
that's the thing.
Yeah, yeah, it's
Yeah.
valuable, invaluable. So share with us some of the apps that you use when you're making your reels and things like that. Like, what are your top three apps that you find you couldn't do without?
Um, I would say Canva,
Yes.
Video Leap.
Okay, I haven't heard of that
Y-
one.
Yeah, and not much I use. I only use Instagram. It's very good these days. So not really using a lot.
So you do the reel directly in Instagram.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
it's got a lot of editing tools now. You can
Yeah.
easily edit anything, add, delete anything. So very good.
Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah.
Instagram. There's so many, and that's what you were so right earlier when you said like this little thing, this little
Is
thing here is just yeah,
so good. And I have seen people it depends on each and every person. Like I have seen people of my age, they are using Instagram just by like they're pro, and then there are some people who are using their computer to edit each and every video to be what should I say, perfectionist and stuff like that.
yeah,
So that's the thing, they do
yeah.
a lot of things.
I tend to put it. I have an app on the phone. Actually, I use CapCut,
Mhm.
and I will do a little video or whatever, and what do you call it? I edit it in CapCut and then just upload it to Instagram.
Yeah, I just do a video on Instagram, upload it, download it, and put it on other videos. Or I can use. I also use Hootsuite, Hootsuite, and you can
So,
actually post it uh,
yeah,
all of other social media accounts. Easy for you.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Hootsuite, guys, for those of you listening, is like a scheduler. I use
Mm.
Buffer at times. Hootsuite is another one that you can schedule, which is really great because you can go in there and
Yeah.
schedule your stuff for a week,
For
and
a
you
week, and you
know
don't
that
have.
you're yeah or
Yeah.
more
Yeah. And you don't
or
have to
more.
worry about anything.
Yeah, does Hootsuite doesn't, but they don't post on your personal page. That's the only thing.
Mm.
You have to do it on your personal one, but that's coming. There's a few different ones. I'm using something now called Stories Prospector that you click on stories and it automatically sends a DM. So there's a lot of stuff. Like things are coming out all the time and they're
All the
moving
time.
so fast. But guys, don't be concerned too much about that. I know at one stage, you're trying to keep up. Decide where your audience are first. If they're on Facebook first or they're more on Instagram or whatever, then get really, really used to there being consistent
Mm-hmm.
and doing all of the tips that Hashmeen has shared today. Do one and then you can do all the other platforms. But do
Yeah.
one well and show up where they are and be consistent. And remember, all of that content will be content you can repurpose.
Yes.
Never
Definitely.
delete anything. Never delete
Never delete
anything.
anything.
That's it.
We
Thank
never
you
know which
so.
video is going to go viral in what time.
Oh gosh, I'm sure mine will be something about a turkey or something. Hashmeen, it's been a pleasure chatting to you, and I think we could talk a lot longer about stuff. So, in for anyone that's watching, if you want to get in contact with Hashmeen, I'm just going to put up her website here. So this is our website. So that's the best way to contact you, so they can message you from there or anything like that, Hashmeen.
Yes,
Yeah.
easy. Yeah.
Absolutely. That's awesome. So make sure you do that. But guys, again, if you are watching this and maybe you're watching it after the live, maybe you're watching it right now, then just make sure you ask any questions here. Myself or Hashmeen will make sure that we answer them as well. So we love to help you and support you with your questions as well. So,
Yeah.
Hashmeen, thank you so much for joining us from the amazing New Zealand. I need to get back there on a holiday soon. Um,
Yes.
Thank you so much. And maybe we'll get you on again and we'll dig down a little bit deeper into some more of that social media stuff.
Definitely love to do that. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Carmel.
My pleasure. So, for now, it's bye for